sound. Ringo TV. Ringo TV. Ringo TV.
Welcome to another edition of Black Male Advice TV. I'm your host, Ringo. Make sure you click the like button, subscribe, and support the content. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of Black Male Advice TV. We have an interesting topic for you. This one here is going to be, this is going to be an interesting one. Now, before we get into this topic, I want you to know, ladies, that this video here is one of them videos that you better listen to very carefully, because if you don't take heed to this particular video here, right, you're gonna lose everything that you ever worked for when it comes to relationships, because there's no turning back from this one. You know, when you study the Bible, right, the scriptures talk about there is such thing as the unpardonable sin, or it's like there is something that we as human beings can do towards the Most High that can be a sin that is unforgivable. Like, you won't be forgiven. I want this video to be just like that. I want you to look at this particular video here, and I want you to realize that there is something that women can do that will be literally an unforgivable sin. This particular video here is titled as follow: 5 things you should never accuse your man of. 5 things. If you accuse your man of one or a combination of all 5 of these things, you will never be forgiven by your man. I need for you to understand that. Once you accuse him of any of these 5, right, you will never be forgiven by him. He will never trust you. He will never look at you the same, ever. Because once you do this, you have literally showed him that you are his enemy at that point. So I want this video here to pretty much marinate with sisters so they can really realize exactly the magnitude of how this video here is going to change the dynamic of their entire life. Because in today's culture, women are committing the 5 unpardonable sins. And that sounds like a good video title right there, but I'll just leave it as, you know, pretty much the five things you should never say to your man. But I might switch the title, you never know. These particular 5 things have no real order, but these are typical things that women do in relationships that will cause your entire relationship to be destroyed from within. A lot of women don't realize the damage that they cause men when they do this, but I want to go through these particular 5 so that women can pretty much recognize exactly what they're doing so they could save themselves the trouble of possibly destroying their relationship. We're going to get into this thing shortly. Let me check this thing out here on the screen real fast. Make sure this is good. All right. Have my list right here. All right. 5 things you should never accuse your man of. Number one, having babies by women he don't even know. One of the problems within our culture with women is something known as insecurities. When a woman is insecure, when a woman is left to herself, Satan can come in and begin to influence her mind and begin to whisper in her ear lies. Unfortunately, for most women that are weak, they believe lies. When you accuse your man of having babies from women he don't even know, or just accusing him of having children from other women that there is no facts, no signs, no nothing of, you have committed an unpardonable sin that your man will never forgive you for. I need for you to understand this is not a game, this is serious business. And most men who may have been through this type of nonsense, you know exactly where I'm going. It can cause the trust between you and a woman to be severed forever. Because if she's willing to believe and make up stories and somehow accuse you of these things, when you made it very clear that I think you're mistaken, you must have me wrong, or you are unfortunately listening to some sort of gossip or some sort of lie. If a woman refused to move on from there and she's keep on pressing you and nitpicking and, well, I think you do, or you're hiding something from me, and she continually keep doing this, brothers, she have committed the unpardonable sin. And at that point, there is no forgiveness from that. No matter what she say is going to make things right, because in the end, nobody likes to be falsely accused. Nobody likes to be put in a position where they have to defend something that is not real. And we see that happening every day within society. We see men being falsely accused, attacked. There's a lot of scandals in social media with hip hop artists and celebrities, and they're being accused left and right. And we, the public, we tend to just believe whatever we hear because stories are being sensationalized. Well, the same thing can happen in relationships. You can have a situation where someone fabricate a story and they inform your woman, and before you know it, they add in this and then add into that and add into this, and before you know it, she has been programmed to think negatively of you. And now what tends to happen is people who influenced her or got her mind focused on negativity, they now have control of her body through witchcraft and sorcery. And now she is able to work with Satan and be an instrument used to cause harm to you for someone else who don't like you. Unfortunately, this is happening in many relationships, and it's my hope that women will take heed to this particular video here and understand the 5 unpardonable sins, or the 5 things you should never, never say to your man. Because when you accuse your man of having babies from women he don't even know, especially when you accuse him and he literally flat out and told you, look, I don't know what you're talking about. You must be on some sort of drugs or smoking. I don't know what's going on, but you got the wrong person. At that moment, it should be literally time to move on. But if you keep pressing him with it, you're going to get that man pretty frustrated, because at this point, he's not really happy with you at this point. Because when a man says no, or no, I don't know what you're talking about, and you continually keep on pressing him about something that is not true, and you keep pressing him and continually keep pushing him, you're going to push that man away. And he's never going to take you seriously at that point, because he recognized that you're really not with him. When a woman is a wife, when a woman is supposed to be your helpmate, and she is in doubt about something, or someone whispered in her ear, put a battery in her back, at that moment, I can understand her feeling some type of way. She can come to you and question what's going on. But when you tell her what you heard is completely no, and she continually keeping on and continue to press you, that woman has a serious problem. And at that point, your job is to never forgive her for that type of sin. That's one of the type of sins that a woman is going to have to be judged for by the Most High, because it's one of those sins that tells a man that that woman hate him, never loved him, and don't support him. And if you're with a woman that do that to you, brothers, I'm here to tell you that woman do not love you. Like, from the bottom of my heart, when a woman falsely accuses you and refuses to humble herself, and she keeps on pushing a lie because she's insecure, because a battery is in her back, because Satan is in her ear, and she keep on pushing and pushing and pushing, she's going to push you right away into the arms of another woman. And that's what women don't realize. So it's my hope that you ladies pretty much take heed to this message and somehow begin to recognize that if you're doing this, you better stop, because you are going to lose your man momentarily. So if your man is if you're accusing your man of having babies or having some sort of women pregnant or women in some sort of nonsense, and that's what you're pushing on him, and he told you pretty much, I don't know what you're talking about, you bugging out, and you continually keep pressing that issue, you are committing a major crime in the relationship. Because as a woman, you're supposed to have your husband's back, you're supposed to have your man's back, you're supposed to be with him till the end. And when he says no, and you keep pushing a lie, you are committing a great offense, and that man have a right to be extremely offended in you. He have a right to never forgive you because you are wrong. And it's something that ladies do all the time, and they don't realize once you do this, a man will never look at you the same. It's sort of like crossing the line. Once you cross that line, there's no turning back from that. I will never look at you the same. You have literally become an enemy to my well-being, to my peace, to everything that's about me. You have become an enemy. Because when a man tells you no, and you can't take that no and respect that no, and you have no proof to substantiate what you have been told or what you feel, and you continually press a lie, you are wrong. And it's something you must live with and go to your grave with. So with that said, that's number one. Number two, when you accuse your man of not loving you, when he do. As a woman, men love women in different ways. When you accuse your man of not loving you, and you look him in the eye and you say, well, you don't love me, it's very hurtful to a man. It's very, unbecoming of you to say such a thing, especially when this man truly, deeply down inside loves you with all his heart and soul. And it's one of them kind of sins that hurts a man so deeply, because in this day and time, in these dark times, sometimes all a man have is just you. And to know that you feel he don't love you, it's the most hurtful thing you can do to him, especially when he's hated by everyone. And when a man feel that his own woman feel he don't love her, and she continually make him feel like he's not doing enough, that is the most hurtful thing you can do to that man. He will never see you the same again. And he will try his best to find someone to replace you, because at that moment, he's hurting deeply and bad. And once those walls have been crumbled down due to you feeling that way, it will never be the same. You can try to repair it. You can try to mend it together. You can try to see if you can apologize and ask for forgiveness and say, well, I was sorry. I didn't mean to do that. It will never be the same again, because at that moment, that man can't trust you no more. He really can't trust you no more when it comes to that. Because when a man loves you and you look him in the eye and say, you don't love me, and all he been doing was showing you love all this time, and you can't see that love, then what is he to do at this point? What is he to say? Some women, their man will try to do nice things, like buy them gifts or want to take them somewhere, want to treat them right, or he's being extra nice because he's feeling real good about himself and he want to treat his lady right. Some of you sisters, you take that as if though he must be up to something. He must be doing something dirty, so that's why he's trying to treat me nice. Why is he buying me gifts? He must be up to something bad. And rather than you accepting his love for love, you look at it as he's being manipulative. So what is a man to do under those circumstances when all of his love language is being misconstrued as if though he's being manipulative, or as if though he's hiding something, or as if though he's just doing it because he's trying to cover something? Once that has been established, that a man feel that you believe he don't love you, even though he's doing everything in his power to display that love, your relationship will never be the same ever again. And it's all because of you. A lot of you ladies have self-sabotaged your own relationships because you've allowed the devil to enter your house. And because a battery was planted in your back, you have now become the instrument of darkness. I'm telling you, as I sit here, I tell you the truth. Many of you ladies are literally working for Satan. And I have a video coming up where I'm going to talk about how, brothers, if you're with a woman, you're more closer to Satan than you can imagine. Because it's very easy for women to be influenced by the devil. It's very easy for women to be manipulated. Satan is the master manipulator. Satan can manipulate a woman to the point where he manipulated her. She will tend to look at you as if though you're the manipulator, when in truth, she have been already manipulated by Satan. And she is now an instrument for the devil, but she can't see that because she's blind. That's where most women are today. Number 3, having relationships with multiple women when he's not. You know, it's one thing if a man is a cheater. It's one thing if a man is caught cheating and you have the proof. You have proof that can substantiate what you believe. It's one thing to have that. It's another thing to believe your man is cheating or have multiple relationships with women, and you just believe that, but you have no proof to substantiate what you believe. This is why a lot of times religious folks, people who believe in the Bible, get laughed at and mocked, because you're living by belief. You haven't seen anything, you haven't experienced anything, you're just going by what you believe. And it's not enough. It's one thing to believe, it's another thing to know. It's one thing to believe that you believe he's cheating on you, or you believe he have some other women on the side, versus you know by facts and you have data to substantiate what you believe. Listening to hearsay is not facts. Listening to gossip is not facts. You have to have tangible evidence that can substantiate what you believe so that it moves from belief to knowing. And I think this is where a lot of ladies mess up. So if you're a sister and you press your man about, well, you have multiple relationships and you're dealing with this woman and that woman and you're doing this and you're doing that, when the truth is he's not doing a damn thing. And he literally told you, like, look, if I'm dealing with X, Y, and Z, I would let you know, straight up and down. But if you keep pressing him about something that's not true, and you keep saying, well, I know, and you don't have to hide, you can tell me, and you keep pressing him when it's not even a real issue because he's not doing what you're saying. But you keep pushing and pushing and pushing. You're going to push that man away into another woman's pussy. You're going to push that man so far that he's going to say, you know what? Listen, I don't got time for this. I'm going to go get me some other woman so I can have some peace, and some quietness, and some harmony. Clearly, you don't want that. And a man should not have to undergo that kind of abuse, because it is abuse. When you are psychologically abusing your man by accusing him of something he's not doing, and you keep pushing and pushing and pushing and nagging and nagging and nagging, you're going to push him away into another woman's arms. And guess what? That woman is going to be very happy that you did that, because now he's where she always wanted him to be, because you've been bamboozled by Satan. If you don't got facts to substantiate what you claim, you're wrong. Number 4, I believe this is. Accusing him of doing things that other people said he's doing that isn't confirmed. I tell you, there are so many brothers that are listening to me right now that are in relationships, and their woman is accusing them of doing things that other people said that they're doing that have not even been confirmed. Ladies, if you are with a man and you're accusing him of things that other people said he's doing, oh, your man was at the so-and-so, I saw him, and you just believe it, you have a problem. Because as a woman, you're supposed to be siding with your man. And no matter what anybody tell you, no matter what they tell you, if you don't have facts to substantiate, I can't say that, but so much. If you don't have facts to substantiate what you're saying, you are wrong. And you're going to push that man so far away, he is never going to take you seriously. Because it is so offensive to be in a relationship and watch your own mate doubt you. That is the most hurtful thing a man can experience, is to be with someone, especially if you've been with this person for years and they're supposed to know you, and yet they're accusing you based on what someone else told them. My goodness, that is an unpardonable sin, which means there is no forgiveness for that. And you don't deserve forgiveness for that. And you're going to go to your grave with that. And when the Most High deal with you, he is going to deal with you severely, because being the accuser of the brethren is one of the worst things you can do as a woman. In a relationship, you're supposed to have your better judgment. And when women fail to properly judge and they begin to criticize, accuse, and keep pressing an issue that is not even true, you place a man in a position where he have to go. You place a man in a position where he needs the comfort of another woman now, because you're not that woman. You have essentially become an enemy to his peace, an enemy to his life, an enemy to his longevity and productivity. That is not the place for a woman to be. If you find yourself operating in any of these things, you are committing the unpardonable sin with your man. Because again, without substantiating evidence to back up what you hear or believe or assume, you are wrong. And it's something you need to live with and deal with on your own, because he's not going to forgive you. You could just forget about it. Once you cross that line, that man is not going to forgive you, because you totally disrespected him. You totally disrespected your man by even pressing him about stuff and issues that are lies. And you keep pressing, he ain't going to tolerate that nonsense. Number 5, when you look at your man and you accuse him of being gay. Now, I can't tell you the amount of women that look at their man and accuse their man of being gay based on what someone else told them. Could you believe that? Do you know, ladies, that when you accuse your man of being gay, you have totally disrespected him. You have totally emasculated him. You leave no room for development once you do that. I'm going to tell you why. When you accuse your man of being gay, you essentially said, no matter what you say in your defense, I believe what I believe. Once you do that, ladies, there is no room for forgiveness for you. you have totally disrespected that man's manhood, because once you question a man's manhood, you have totally emasculated him. And at that point, there is no forgiveness for you. None whatsoever. Because here's the problem, ladies. Once the batteries run out and you come back to your senses and you realize that Satan beguiled you and that Satan was in your ear and you learn that you were wrong the whole time, what are you going to tell your man? What are you going to tell your man of many years when you learn you were wrong? What are you going to tell him? What could you say in your defense? That I'm sorry? He's not going to forgive you. What are you going to tell him? I just didn't know. I was in my feelings. I wasn't thinking properly. Please forgive me. No, you don't need no forgiveness. You need to be judged by the Most High for your sin, your unpardonable sin of emasculating your man viciously, because it's a vicious thing to accuse people. Nobody likes to be falsely accused. Being falsely accused of a crime you never commit is the worst type of feeling to have, because it puts you in a position where you're guilty and you have to prove your innocence. But in a relationship, when a woman accuses you of any of the 5 things and she presses it when it's not true, it's the worst possible feeling you can endure as a man. And if you're a woman who operates in that, there is no forgiveness for you. If you're a man and you're in a relationship and you have a woman that do that to you, there is no forgiveness for her. At that moment, she got to live with that for the rest of her life. She's going to live with that, and she's going to die with that in her system. And I pray that the Most High judge all women that operate in that type of satanic abuse, because it is abuse. It's very abusive to accuse someone when you have nothing to substantiate what you believe. It's one thing to believe something, but belief is not facts. When you know something, you can substantiate it with evidence, with proof. And if you don't have that, it's wrong to accuse somebody. Because when you accuse your man of being gay, of having babies by other women, of not loving you, of accusing him of things other people said he did, accuse him of having relationships with multiple women when he's not, and you have no proof to back up anything, that's wrong. That's a major problem. And somebody have to deal with those issues. So, with that being said, brothers, if you're in a situation like that, hey, I hope that you understand that women who do that, they don't love you, number one. Make no mistake about it. I'm going to make that very clear. I need to make that clear for you ladies. If you're the type of sister who do that, please don't tell your man that you love him, because you don't. You never did. Because once you do that, you have totally betrayed him. You emasculated him. You have totally showed that you don't believe in him. Because when you do those type of things, it is the most abusive, satanic thing you can actually do. When a person tell you, I don't know what you're talking about, the answer is no. And you keep pressing something. When someone said no, you keep pushing and pushing. You don't love that person. You hate them. And they will never see you the same way ever again. Because what you've done is the most satanic thing of all. It's the unpardonable sins of relationships. I need to title this video, The 5 Unpardonable Sins Women Commit in Relationships when accusing their man. Once you become the accuser of the brethren in your relationship, you literally become Satan himself in your house. Sometimes when you ladies believe Satan is in your house and you think Satan is operating through someone, he's operating through you. You just can't see that because you're the one with the devil. And I'm telling you, this video is for a lot of women, because women love accusing men of all sorts of things. and you're wondering why your man is with that woman and with that woman and with that woman and doing whatever he's doing, you wonder why. You are satanic and you got some major issues, because I'm going to tell you again, if a man commit a crime and he's caught, that's one thing. If a man is cheating and you got evidence and you got proof, that's one thing. But when you have accusations and you're accusing someone of this and that, and you have no proof, and you bring nothing to the table, and all you want to do is argue, belittle, talk, say this, say that, press your man, be hurtful to your man, accuse him, stress him out, constantly accusing and pushing him away, and you got nothing to prove, to show that what you've been saying is true, to say, look, I have evidence that you're doing what you're doing. Here it is. And you don't have that? You have committed the unpardonable sins in all relationships, and you are not worthy for no forgiveness. So if you're a lady and you're operating that, I'm telling you right now, you better stop while you can, because what you're doing is going to make you lose your man. You're going to lose your household. You're going to lose everything very soon. So with that being said, I'm going to sign out. Hope you enjoyed the show. This is Black Male Advice TV, the only channel on YouTube, bringing you the truth 100% raw, the way you need to hear it. And I'm out, y'all. Peace.
If you like our content, consider supporting via Cash App at $Ringo TV Raw. Become a patron on patreon.com for exclusive video content not shown on YouTube. You could also support through PayPal at paypal.me/Ringo TV Raw. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and click the bell to be notified of new content. Follow me on Instagram at Ringo TV Raw.
This is Black Male Advice TV, the only channel on YouTube bringing you the truth 100% raw and uncut. I'm out. Peace.